All right, get ready to pack your bags, everyone, because today we're going deep on AI and travel.
AI travel planning.
Yeah, AI travel planning. Specifically, we've got this business plan we're going to unpack, and it's pretty ambitious. It's not just like booking flights and hotels. It's like, imagine if you had this AI that could plan out your dream trip.
Sign me up.
Right, like it takes into account everything, budget, what kind of traveler are you, even like how much of a carbon footprint you're okay with.
That's pretty cool.
I know, right? So to help break all this down, we've got our expert here ready to dig into like how would this even work as a business?
Well, first off, I think what's really interesting here is everybody wants to travel and
Yeah,
people want these unique, personalized experiences.
sure.
And increasingly, they want it to be sustainable,
Yeah.
right? Like that's a big thing. And that's where AI can maybe step in and do what, even the best travel agent might struggle with.
Okay, I'm definitely intrigued, but like my brain's already a little overloaded, so let's back up.
Yeah.
What exactly is this AI tourism planner thingy? How does it even work? Because the document's throwing around some serious tech jargon.
It's actually simpler than it sounds. Basically, imagine a platform where you can tell it all the things you'd normally tell a travel agent, right?
Okay, so like my budget.
Budget, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, where you want to go, what kind of trip you're looking for.
Relaxed versus adventurous, that sort of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But here's the kicker. It goes way beyond that. Like we're talking algorithms that crunch a ridiculous amount of data,
Data, like what kind of data?
like everything. Flight schedules, hotel availability, real-time pricing,
Yeah, oh.
reviews from other travelers, even suggestions for things to do.
So it's pulling all this together.
It takes all that and then bam,
Yeah.
creates a custom itinerary just for you.
So it's not just like pre-packaged travel
Oh,
deals?
no. It's totally unique to each person.
Okay, that's pretty impressive. But I gotta ask the tough question. How does this thing actually make money? Is this just a cool concept, or is there like a real business model here?
Well, there are actually several ways they could bring in revenue, which is always a good sign. Um, Probably the most obvious is a subscription model.
Okay.
Like, different tiers for different types of travelers. Like maybe you only travel once a year versus you're always on the go.
Right, different levels like Netflix or something?
Exactly, yeah. Different perks depending on which level you sign up for.
Okay, so that's like your steady income. But what about people who just need one trip planned?
That's where they could offer a paper itinerary option. Like basically hiring an AI travel agent just for that one trip.
Smart. Okay, but those two alone, I don't know, it doesn't seem like enough to, make this a big success. What else is in their money-making toolkit?
Well, this is where it gets strategic.
Yeah.
They could also do affiliate partnerships.
Oh, I see. With like airlines, hotels, all that.
Exactly. Car rentals, activities, the whole travel ecosystem. Every time someone books something through the platform, they get a commission.
So it's kind of like a one-stop shop for all your travel needs,
Mhm.
and they take a little cut from each booking.
Exactly. Plus, you've got add-on services like carbon offsetting for the eco-conscious travelers, travel insurance, maybe even a premium concierge service.
So like extra bells and whistles for those who want the VIP treatment.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm starting to see the possibilities here. But even with a good plan for making money, actually getting this thing up and running, that's going to be a huge undertaking. What would be the essential first steps to launching this AI planner?
Well, the first thing, and it's a big one, you got to have serious AI development. We're not talking about some simple app here. This is sophisticated algorithms that can deal with massive amounts of data, but also personalize those itineraries and adapt to things changing in real time.
Right, like a flight gets canceled, the AI has to adjust the whole plan.
Exactly. Then, and this is crucial, data partnerships.
Mm-hmm.
You need access to all that good information on flights, accommodations, activities, everything. So partnering with airlines, hotels, booking platforms, tourism boards.
Basically, anyone and everyone in the travel world.
Yeah, you got to have the right data to feed the AI.
Makes sense. What about the legal side of things? Any potential hurdles there?
Absolutely. Data privacy is a big one,
Oh, yeah, especially with all those regulations these days.
especially in Europe
Yeah.
with GDPR and all that.
Yeah.
User data's got to be handled responsibly, securely, no question.
So basically, building an ethical business is just as important as building a cool app.
Right. And then there's marketing. How do they get people excited about this AI travel revolution?
Well, the travel industry is all about, visuals, making people dream of amazing trips.
Exactly. So you've got to have a strong marketing strategy, social media campaigns, maybe work with some travel influencers, get creative with PR.
Right, make a splash.
And last but not least, you got to think about the user experience. Even if the AI is super smart, if the platform is clunky or confusing, people will just go back to their old ways.
Yeah, nobody wants to struggle with a complicated app.
So it has to be intuitive, visually appealing, easy to navigate. Planning a trip should feel exciting, not like you're doing your taxes.
Okay, so we've got the basics down. This AI tourism planner, it could be amazing, but there are some serious challenges to overcome. And those are exactly what we're diving into next.
Yeah, we've laid the foundation, but let's get real. There are always potential pitfalls, and this document doesn't shy away from those.
So stay tuned because next we're tackling the tough questions like what are the risks? Can this thing really compete?
And most importantly, will people actually trust an AI to plan their dream vacation?
All that and more coming up after the break. Okay, so this AI tourism planner, it sounds pretty amazing on paper, but let's be real, there are always challenges. And this document, it actually does a good job of highlighting some potential problems.
Yeah, it's important to think about those, right? Because any new business, especially in tech, it's going to face hurdles.
For sure. So, first up, competition. I mean, the travel planning space is already pretty crowded. How does an AI newcomer stand out? Convince people to, ditch the apps they're already using?
That's where differentiation is key, right? This AI planner needs like a unique selling proposition. It can't just be AI powered, because everyone's claiming that these days.
So, what's their secret sauce? What makes this AI worth switching to?
Well, they're really pushing the hyper-personalization angle. And it goes way beyond just filtering by budget or travel style. It's about using AI to understand your individual tastes deeply.
Okay, how deep are we talking? Because that sounds a little uh intense.
Think like natural language processing that analyzes your past trip reviews, even maybe looking at your social media to see what kind of experiences you're drawn to.
Hold on, they're going to be analyzing my Instagram feed to suggest trips. That's kind of Big Brother-ish, isn't it?
It's a fine line for sure. Transparency and user control over data, that's got to be a priority.
Right.
But if it's done right, that kind of deep personalization, it could be a game changer for travelers who are tired of generic recommendations.
Okay, I see how personalization could set them apart. What else?
Remember, we talked about sustainability. That's another big differentiator. This AI, it can go beyond just like suggesting eco-friendly options.
Oh, right, like just listing hotels with solar panels or whatever.
Exactly. This thing can calculate the carbon footprint of different itineraries, help travelers make informed choices, like about the overall impact of their trip.
So it's not just finding a flight with lower emissions, it's looking at the whole picture.
Exactly.
Mm.
And it can even take it a step further, recommending carbon offsetting programs so travelers can invest in environmental projects.
All right, so personalization and sustainability, those are strong points. But even with the best AI and a solid business model, things can go wrong. What are some of the red flags this business needs to watch out for?
Oh, there are definitely potential pitfalls. Data accuracy is a big one.
What do you mean?
If the AI is working with bad data, outdated information, it's going to create itineraries that are just useless. Imagine showing up at a restaurant that closed 6 months ago.
Or booking a flight that doesn't exist anymore. That's not just inconvenient, it's a disaster.
Exactly. So they need really strong data verification processes, partner with reliable sources, cross-check information, maybe even use machine learning to spot and fix errors.
So it's a constant battle to keep the data fresh. Like the information equivalent of making sure your food doesn't go bad.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then there's the issue of user trust.
Oh, right, because people can be hesitant to hand over control to AI, especially for something as personal as a vacation.
It's different from letting an algorithm pick your music. Building that trust, it's an ongoing process. Starts with transparency.
Like being open about how the AI works.
Exactly. What data is collected, how it's used. Customer reviews will be huge too, convincing people that others have had good experiences.
So it's not just building smart AI, it's building AI that people feel good about using.
Right. And then there's the challenge of going global.
Oh, yeah, because what works in one country might not work somewhere else.
Different cultures, different travel habits, even different regulations. Like what works for an American road trip might not work for someone planning a train trip across Europe. To be successful, this AI planner has to be adaptable, not just translating the platform into different languages, but also like training the AI on different data sets, working with local experts.
So it's not one size fits all AI. It's got to be customized to different regions. Okay, we've covered some serious challenges: data accuracy, user trust, going global, all things that could sink a business, even with a great idea.
True, but our document also makes a good case for why this AI tourism planner is future-proof. They point to some trends that suggest this isn't just a fad, it's got staying power.
Okay, I'm all ears. Why are they so optimistic?
Well, for one thing, the demand for personalized experiences, it's only going up. People are tired of cookie-cutter vacations. They want something unique, something that feels made just for them.
It's not just about seeing the sights anymore, it's about the experience being authentic and meaningful.
And AI is perfectly positioned to deliver that. It can analyze your past travel, your social media, even your browsing history to figure out what you truly value in an experience.
So it's like having a travel agent who knows you better than you know yourself.
Exactly. And that personalization, it goes beyond just hotels and flights. It's about curating the whole experience, from the restaurants to the activities, all tailored to your tastes.
Okay, so personalization is a big driver. What else makes this future-proof?
The focus on sustainable travel. As people become more aware of the environmental impact, they're looking for ways to minimize their footprint.
So it's not just about finding a green hotel, it's about thinking about the impact of every part of the trip.
Right. And that's where AI can shine. It can analyze tons of data to find the most eco-friendly options, from transportation to accommodations, even activities.
So the AI becomes like a sustainability guru, guiding people towards choices that match their values.
Exactly. And this isn't just a niche market anymore. It's becoming the expectation. Sustainability is no longer a luxury. It's something people want.
Okay, personalization and sustainability, two big trends working in their favor. Anything else?
The fact that AI itself is constantly evolving. The technology is getting better all the time, which means this platform, it can get more powerful, more efficient, more personalized over time.
It's not static, it's constantly learning. So what might that look like? What kind of future innovations are we talking about?
Well, imagine an AI that can not only plan your trips, but predict your future travel desires, curate experiences based on your evolving tastes, even connect you with like-minded travelers.
So it's not just a planner anymore, it's like a travel companion guiding you toward experiences that will really resonate with you.
Exactly. And as AI gets more advanced, the experiences themselves could become even more immersive and personalized.
Mm.
Think augmented reality that gives you information as you explore a city, or virtual reality previews of hotels before you book.
That's pretty wild. AI not just planning the trip, but enhancing the experience while you're on it.
Precisely. And as those technologies merge, the lines between the physical and digital world, they'll keep blurring, creating all sorts of possibilities for how we travel and experience the world.
Okay, the future of AI travel sounds pretty exciting, but before we get too carried away with these sci-fi possibilities, let's talk about something that often gets overlooked with AI: ethics.
Ah, yes. The ethics of AI. It's easy to get caught up in the cool factor, but
Yep.
we can't ignore the potential downsides.
Because with great power comes great responsibility, right? So what are some of the ethical considerations we need to think about with AI-powered travel planning?
Well, data privacy is a huge one. We've talked about how this AI relies on collecting and analyzing lots of personal data. If that data gets into the wrong hands, it could be misused.
Yeah, like your travel history, preferences, even your social media activity being used for scams or identity theft. Not good.
Exactly. And it's not just about protecting data from outsiders. It's about making sure the company itself is using that data responsibly.
So what kind of safeguards need to be in place to protect user data?
Transparency is key. Users need to know exactly what data is collected, how it's used, who has access. No more hiding those data privacy policies in the fine print.
Right, got to be upfront and honest.
And users need to be able to control their own data, have the option to opt out of data collection or delete their data entirely.
So it's about putting the user in control, not just the AI. What about the algorithms themselves? How do we make sure they're making fair recommendations?
Algorithmic bias is a big concern. If the AI is trained on biased data, it can perpetuate those biases, leading to discrimination.
Like, if it's mostly trained on data from luxury travelers, it might recommend itineraries that are too expensive for most people.
Exactly. Or it might steer people towards certain destinations or activities based on their race or gender. We have to be very careful about that.
So it's not enough to just build a smart AI. It's got to be fair and equitable, too.
Precisely. That means being thoughtful about the data used to train the AI and constantly monitoring it to make sure it's making unbiased recommendations.
Okay, data privacy and algorithmic bias. Those are two big ethical considerations. Anything else we should be thinking about?
The impact on local communities is another one. If this AI planner takes off, it could send a lot of tourists to certain destinations.
Which could be good or bad, right? Tourism can bring money and jobs, but it can also lead to overcrowding and even displace local residents.
Exactly. So we have to think about how to use this AI to promote responsible tourism,
Mhm.
encourage people to visit sustainably and respectfully.
So instead of sending everyone to the same crowded spots, it could suggest lesser known destinations, encourage off season travel, and promote ways to engage with local communities.
Precisely. It's about using AI to not just personalize travel, but to make it better for everyone, both the travelers and the places they visit.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground. The potential of this AI planner, the challenges, the ethics involved. It's clear this technology could really change how we travel, but we have to approach it thoughtfully.
Absolutely. It's an exciting time for the travel industry, and I'm really interested to see how AI continues to shape its future.
Me too. But now let's shift gears and talk about the money side of this AI travel revolution.
All right, let's get down to business. We touched on the revenue streams earlier, but let's really dive into how this business can make a profit.
I'm ready to crunch some numbers. Let's see if this AI tourism planner can actually deliver on its financial promises.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so let's dive into the financials of this AI tourism planner. We talked about potential revenue streams like subscriptions, paper itinerary, affiliate partnerships, but how does that actually translate into profit? Our document, it has some projections, but I'm kind of curious, are those realistic?
The numbers are pretty eye-catching, for sure. Just in the U.S., they estimate that even grabbing a tiny slice of the leisure travel market could mean, like, tens of millions in revenue per year.
Wow, tens of millions. That's a lot.
And when you consider that the global travel market is worth trillions,
Mm-hmm.
the growth potential is massive.
Okay, but projections are one thing. What about the actual costs of running this kind of business? Developing the AI, maintaining it, all those data partnerships, marketing, and then the legal stuff, compliance. I mean, that all adds up fast.
Yeah, no, you're right. The upfront investment, it's going to be significant. But here's the thing about a platform like this. It's scalable. Once the AI is built, the partnerships are in place, the cost of serving each new customer is actually pretty low.
So the more people use it, the more profitable it becomes. Makes sense. But there's another big financial hurdle, competition. Those existing travel platforms, they already have huge user bases, tons of resources. Can a new AI player really compete with those giants?
That's where that unique selling proposition is so important. Remember, it can't just be a little bit better. It has to offer something those big players can't easily copy.
Right, back to those differentiators, hyper-personalization and sustainability. But how do those turn into a real advantage in the market? How do you actually make money from that?
Okay, think about it. The travel platforms we have now, they're good at showing you options, but they're not great at understanding what each traveler actually wants. Deep down, this AI, it can change that.
So it's not just filtering by price or stars, it's figuring out what makes each traveler tick, what they really crave, and then building a trip around that.
Exactly. And that's huge. The AI can analyze all your past travel, your social media, even what you browse online to create a travel profile that's way more detailed than any human could put together.
Okay, I see how that's appealing to travelers. But for the business, how does that turn into profit?
It's about creating an amazing experience. When people feel like the platform gets them, like it's suggesting things they'll love, they're more likely to book through it. And that's where the revenue comes from. Affiliate partnerships, add-on services.
It's a win-win. Travelers get awesome personalized trips, the business gets a cut of the bookings. What about the sustainability angle? How does that fit into the money-making side?
Sustainability is a big deal now, especially for younger travelers. So by being the platform for eco-conscious travel, this AI planner taps into a market that's only getting bigger.
It's not just for people who are already super eco-friendly, it's making it easier for anyone to make greener choices.
Right. And that's where the whole carbon footprint calculation, the offsetting suggestions, that becomes a major selling point. It's not just saying be sustainable, it's giving people the tools to actually do it.
Okay, they're appealing to personalization, sustainability, but is that enough to stay competitive? I mean, what if someone else comes along with even better AI?
That's why continuous innovation is so crucial. They can't just sit back and relax. They have to keep evolving to stay ahead.
So what could that look like? What's next for AI travel planning?
Well, the AI could get even better at predicting what people want, suggesting things they never even thought of, but are, like, perfect for them.
Like using some kind of predictive model to analyze past trips, social media, even what's going on in your life right now to suggest the right kind of trip.
Exactly. Maybe you just got a promotion or had a baby. The AI takes all that into account.
So the AI isn't just a planner, it's almost a life coach, helping you figure out what trip you need right now. That's pretty cool.
And as AI tech advances, we can see travel experiences become even more personalized. Think about augmented reality giving you information as you walk around a new city, or virtual reality letting you preview hotels before you book.
Okay, now that's some futuristic stuff, but let's come back to the present for a minute. We've talked about the potential, the challenges, the financials, but in the end, it all comes down to one thing. Will people actually use it? How do you convince someone to trust an AI with their vacation?
It's all about building trust, being transparent, and creating an experience that's so good people can't resist.
Okay, break that down for me. How do they do that?
Well, first off, no more hiding behind complicated terms and conditions.
Yeah.
Be upfront about how the AI works, what data is used, who sees it, give users control over their own data.
So it's about being honest and empowering the user, not just letting the AI run the show.
Exactly. And the experience itself, it has to be smooth and intuitive. The platform, it's got to look good, be easy to use, even, like, fun. Maybe use some game-like elements to make planning a trip feel more exciting.
It's got to be enjoyable, not just functional. But even then, some people will always be hesitant to trust an AI with their travel plans. What about those folks?
That's where social proof comes in. You need those positive reviews, testimonials from happy customers, maybe work with some travel influencers. All that helps build credibility.
So it's not just what the company says, it's what other travelers are saying.
Word of mouth is powerful, especially in travel. When people see others have had good experiences, they're more willing to try it themselves.
You know, you've convinced me. AI could really change how we travel, and this AI tourism planner, it seems like they're on the right track.
It's definitely an exciting time for the travel industry, and AI is going to play a big role in its future.
Well, that wraps up our deep dive into the world of AI-powered travel planning. We covered a lot, from the potential to the challenges, the business side, the ethics, and even got a glimpse into the future.
It's been a fascinating conversation.
And that's it for today. Thanks for joining us on this journey, and until next time, happy travels.